Hello, fellow entrepreneurs, freelancers, professionals, and what have you. Welcome to the next video, next installment, I should say, in this series of me finding a job using AI. So let's go ahead with this. Once again, I'm going to be following my book, AI for Professionals and Entrepreneurs, and I'll be using it to search for a job, even though I'm not actively searching for a job right now. But that was what I received the most requests for, and so I'm going to go ahead with that. It would be quite awkward if I actually do end up getting a job. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So in this video, I'm going to be doing this part, creating compelling cover letters for specific job applications. We already worked on the CV and we worked on other stuff. Now I want to work on the cover letter and see what I can do there. And I'm just going to follow this step by step once again, just to show you how kind of simple it can be. And then you can see about the different variations and whatnot you can do. So what do I say here? I just say begin by analyzing the target job description and company website. Identify the top 3 requirements and the organization's core values. Yes, AI can help with this as well. So let's use AI to help with that. First of all, let's find a job. So I'm just going to LinkedIn and click on top job picks for you because why not? And expat as head of administration in Taiwan. I'm not even sure what this means, but let's click on this. So what I'm going to do first of all is you can do 2 things. You can take the URL, copy and paste it. And then here I have my Perplexity. You can use ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever you want to use. I usually use Perplexity, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to paste the URL. What I like to do just to make sure for these things is to also copy and paste the text. I literally copied and pasted it without looking at it. Now let's go back to what I wrote in the book. Let's analyze the target job description company website, which I did not do. Identify the top 3 requirements and the organization's core values. But I'm going to use AI for that. And I literally just wrote, identify the top 3 requirements for this job as well as the company's core values. I'm keeping this very simple because technically these are 2 different queries and I like to do one query at a time so as not to confuse the AI. But I'm going to do them together just to kind of show how simple it can be. And then you can make it more structured as you go on. So here we go. Top 3 requirements, master's degree an MBA, experience in international industrial companies, excellent command of English, and with Mandarin skills, highly beneficial. So let's see how compatible I am with this job. So here, supply your AI with your resume, and if you wish, with any current cover letter or letter of introduction you have, feel free to add what you're passionate about and any other preferences. Then ask it to draft an opening paragraph that connects your most relevant achievements and preferences directly to the company's position. So let's do that. So here we go. I uploaded my CV and my cover letter, and I wrote, I would like to write a cover letter for this job. Using the attached CV and cover letter, draft an opening paragraph that connects my relevant achievements to the company's position as well as its mission and values. Now, I already have a cover letter. Obviously, A, it's outdated. B, it's not specifically for this job. I am using it as a reference just in case, and you can just find an old cover letter and do that, or an old letter of introduction, an email that you use, something like that, or just ask it to just use a CV. Either way, I'm going to do this and see what happens. So this is kind of a long paragraph, but let's see. With a master's degree in public administration from Cornell University and over 2 decades of progressive experience in international business, blah, blah, blah. Now, why did I ask it to do the initial paragraph first? You could ask it to just rewrite the whole cover letter, but doing it 1 paragraph at a time, you can tell which direction it's going to go in, and then right away you can correct anything or take out anything you don't want to add or something along those lines. Like here, I'd actually want a much shorter paragraph, maybe leaving out some of these things, just having 2 or 3 points that make me sound really desirable for the job. And so in the follow-up, I can always say, concentrate on 2 or 3 points that are good for the job, and then include this other information in the subsequent paragraphs. In fact, let's do that now. So here we go. Shorten this opening paragraph to just highlight 2 or 3 of my most impressive points, achievements. The other information can be included in subsequent paragraphs, which should also be as follows. Paragraph 2, and this again, literally copied and pasted from the book, address how my skills and past successes will solve the role's key challenges using specific examples and metrics. And paragraph 3 says, demonstrate cultural fit by referencing insights from company research, such as their collaborative environment or commitment to innovation, and tying them to my own work style and values. Once again, I prefer doing these 1 step at a time, but I'm going to include them all together here for the sake of brevity, because I don't want this video to continue forever, but also to show you that it can be done. And if there are any mistakes that pop out, I'll show you why maybe you don't want to always do this. But anyway, let's see what happens. So I like the opening paragraph better now. It's shorter and it mentions my school. It mentions I worked at UBS, and I'm not sure what else it mentions. But I'm not going to read through it in detail. But I really like what it did with paragraph 2, because it really tied in things that I did with things that they specifically need. A change that I might make here is to make it shorter and maybe divide it into maybe 2 paragraphs or maybe even 3, just so it's easier to the eye. But I like what it did there. In terms of cultural fit and values alignment, I guess it sounds good. It's sort of guesswork. I would definitely do my own research to make sure that this sort of fits in with what they're looking for. And maybe it doesn't need to be that long. Once again, and I say this in every single video, AI is like your overeager intern. Don't treat it like your boss and just copy and paste whatever it writes. You have to review what it writes and then tell it, no, you did too much of this, you didn't do enough of that, do this over again, etc., etc. But here, let's go. The final point says, finally, request 3 alternative closing statements of under 30 words each. Options might include a confident call to action, an expression of genuine enthusiasm, or reflection on your alignment with the company's vision. Once again, I'm literally copying and pasting. But let's say I think that the cultural fit here, I've mentioned enough about cultural fit and values alignment. I don't want to emphasize that anymore. So maybe I'll take that out. Options might include a confident call to action or an expression of genuine enthusiasm. And let's see what it says now. And it added a third one, long-term commitment focus. And this way, it makes it a lot easier to deal with. I have the opening paragraph, which again, I made shorter here. And then these 2 other paragraphs addressing specific things. And then this final closing statement. I think you can see why I did that rather than just say, write a cover letter to suit this, because then I'm not really sure what it's writing. And this is a much better way to keep it structured. An alternative you can do is ask it, maybe in a separate window, to write its own thing and then compare whatever you come up with here with what it comes up with by itself without any further instructions, and then see what you want to do. But again, this is what AI is pretty good for, just brainstorming, having this overeager intern coming up with different things for you to write and for you to do. And then you ultimately are the arbiter. You have to make the decision at the end of the day as to what you're going to use, what you're going to lose, and what you want it to look like for when you're applying for this job. I'm tempted to copy and paste this cover letter and actually send it and apply for the job just for the video to see what happens, but I feel like it wouldn't be fair. Let me know if you think I should do something like that. But I know, real people apply for these jobs and I don't want to waste anyone's time. But hopefully this gives you an idea as to what you can do and how you can use AI to make your application more simple. And in fact, the only other thing I add here is how does the result look? Review and refine these AI-generated drafts to ensure authenticity, clarity, and consistency with your personal voice before sending. Yeah, that's another thing. You don't want it to sound completely different from what you usually sound. And hopefully, if you were able to plug in a cover letter, it can follow your voice somewhat, so it doesn't sound completely alien to what you sound like. But you might want to make sure before you send it out. Remember, your cover letter and resume should tell a narrative about you that appeals to the company. Anyway, hopefully you found this useful. And again, let me know if there's any other section of the book, any other chapter, or anything having to do with AI in terms of your career, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of business, in terms of freelancing, in terms of just whatever it might be that you want me to cover. And I'll be happy to cover it and go through it, kind of go through it in real time with you. And it's always interesting because it's AI. Unlike something like, say, Excel or pretty much any other computer program we're used to, where it will always spit out the correct result, a foreseeable result, as long as you plug in the correct instructions. With AI, you don't know really. And so it is interesting to go through this every single time. But anyway, if you do want to see more of this and if you want to learn more about this, don't forget to subscribe. And that way you can keep seeing these videos. Otherwise, you might never see me again. And if you did like this video, please click like. If you didn't like it, I guess you can click unlike, dislike, thumbs down, whatever it is. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Everyone's using AI, but don't panic. Here's what I learned. AI won't replace you. It amplifies you. AI is your eager intern. For job searches, resume writing, and much, much more. AI for professionals and entrepreneurs shows you how. 71% of employers now prefer AI experience. Get prompts, templates, and workflows. Work with AI, not against it. Available now on Amazon. Stop panicking. Start thriving.